y'all for joining. We're going to be starting here in a minute. My chat is a little low. Let's bring that up. Howdy everyone that is joined. We got, there it is. Ham Radio Tube is in the house, and he's going to be on screen here in a bit. And Radio Prep Paul, what's going on? Yeah, almost time for some Tank Radio. It is 1 minute past. We'll go ahead and kick this off right. Transition. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Frank, KG5AHJ, and we haven't done this in a while. We all been traveling and busy, but we're taking a second to relax and kick back and hang out with all of y'all. And I'm unmuted. Yes, I'm doing this right. Thank you all for joining, and let's kick this off right. Play that awesome intro video. I can't use both hands because I gotta click. Quick shout out to all my Patreons who makes the show possible. You can support me by joining Patreon in the link below. And on to Tank Radio. Howdy y'all, howdy. We got our cigars lit, we got the boys in the back room. I'm watching the room to see if anyone else joins. Thank you all for joining. Wait, what happened to the audio? It's back now. There, it's fixed. It was working. I don't know. Thank you for joining. Y'all are awesome. Something I'm going to clip out of the audio podcast. That audio podcast is all released on any podcaster app you have out there. Go ahead and search Tank Radio, and you will find me, Tank Radio, on the audio podcast. There's 2 audio podcasts I release each month that aren't on YouTube. One is Texas Hams, where the Texas Ham boys get together, and gals, if someone starts a YouTube channel here in Texas, we'll go ahead and have them on, and it'll be fun. And the other one is my Tank Radio Commander meetings. They are put out there a month of behind. So if you want to get them and be in the meeting and see me and interact with me, you got to go and join the Tank Radio Commander level. And thank you to all my commanders, officers, or just takers out there supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. You keep the lights on. Literally, I got lights right over there for later when the sun goes down, and hopefully it doesn't blow me out. And I think that's it on my rundown. If you want to also help support me by merchandise, all my merchandise links are in the description, both on the audio podcast on this too. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring in the gang. They're laughing at me already behind the scene, and there we go. What is up? How everybody? How y'all doing? Let's just go quickly around the room, and I don't have self hidden, so y'all are getting an infinite view. Boink. There, that's better. Just introduce yourselves. We'll start with Mike. What's your channel and what you're smoking or drinking today, or both?
Terrius, and my YouTube channel is called Ham Radio Tube. And I am smoking, I haven't smoked this before. It's been sitting in my humidor for, gosh, probably 6-8 months now. I am smoking a My Father, The Judge.
The Judge.
And
that's a good cigar.
Tell you, this is pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little earthy, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of creaminess so far here in the first third. But I'm enjoying it so far. It's like 95 degrees on my porch right now, so it's a little warm. But thankfully, the great brewers at Founders Brewing Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan, keep the Founders All Day IPA pouring, and got my Poda koozie. So, yeah, should be uh, should be an enjoyable evening.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it. I bumped the desktop audio up. I hope that's better for y'all. And thank you for joining. Izzo, my man, what are you smoking?
I didn't know if we should do this like an AA meeting. No disrespect to those in AA. Hi, my name is Don. I've been here. Um, oh, Frank, you know something?
Mm-hmm.
You've been a good friend, along with many others. But one of the first things you had me try was a New World,
Yes.
and I went through the humidor. I'm rushing, and I didn't want to be late. And I'm trying to like, what do I smoke with you? And I decided to pull the New
Mmm.
World. I don't know
Nice.
why. It has sentimental value because I didn't know anything about this cigar, and like I trusted you, like I should, and it was just such a fantastic Nicaraguan cigar, close to full body. I don't even know what the official, with the people who rate them and everything, but to me it's right in my wheelhouse. I like it. It's a nice Nicaraguan. I have about three more left, so when this is done, and we go over to Jason's show later. I'll just go back to the humidor and just, you know, cut, cut and smoke another one. So
Nice.
that's what I got going on right
Love it. Love it. Well, thank you for joining. Always loving having you on, Izzo. I'm glad you're enjoying that. I actually did buy another New World in my humidor box. Ooh, right there on top. Can I show this without dumping them all? Maybe. There it is. Um, it's right on top, and I'm bringing that to Orlando, or not Orlando. Where we're going? More Expo coming up this week.
now. Hey Frank, do you know? Does this come in a bigger gauge?
Mm-mm.
You know. Okay, so this is a box press.
Yep.
I would love to know. Okay, because I'm I'm 50-50 on the box presses. Not that it doesn't stop me,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes I just prefer one that's not. But when it's good, who cares? That's how I look at it. Who cares? But I didn't know if they had like a nice, 6x60, 6x70, something, bigger.
Mm-hmm. No,
But sometimes going bigger doesn't always mean it's going to be better either. So
that's the only gauge I know. They only sell it in the one cigar.
okay,
Um, the
that's
the
okay.
the other cigar by that same company I like is also Enclave, and it is more of a full body cigar, and it's a good cigar too.
Hmm.
And last but not least, Scott, my co-host, partner in crime, and he released a new video last week or a week ago now. How's it going, man?
Going pretty good, man. I'm ham rated for non-techies, and yeah, just glad to be here, smoking an Ave Maria Templar cigar
Mm-hmm.
and enjoying some nice rum out of London from Smith and Cross. It's a Jamaican traditional pot still rum,
Ooh, that's good.
and enjoying one of the last enjoyable nights to be outside in my backyard before it turns into hell out here.
Yeah, yes, I know that. It is. I checked 81 outside, and I'm wearing shorts, and there's a light breeze that's keeping it beautiful.
Yeah.
I
What do you mean? Does it just get so darn hot down there? It's just hard to enjoy the backyard outside.
Yeah, it'll get really
Yeah.
humid in about this time of night around July. It'll be about 100 degrees still. It'll be high humidity, mosquitoes the size of Buicks running off your kids, all kinds of crap. So it's just not really fun to be outside unless you got a lot of smoke to keep the critters away.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm smoking today a Padron. I went back to the tried and true Padron 4000 line. I really love this cigar. And sitting next to me, Woodford Reserve. I am gotten that in the bourbon cup. And of course, I got water in the Rudy's cup. So I am set to go for all night. Mike, did you make it to Belton? Several people said Belton was this weekend.
I did. I I had a pretty interesting week.
I bet.
Drove back from Verde, where we were doing the eclipse on Monday,
Mm-hmm.
and then Tuesday, we were here in Huntsville, Texas. We were supposed to have, or the potential to have softball-sized hail and
Yes.
tornadoes. So, me not wanting to die and me not wanting my cat to die, I called Jason from Ham Radio 2.0 and asked if I could, because I looked at the map. Galveston looked like it was kind of out of the danger zone. So I called Jason. I'm like, hey, is it cool if I just car camp under your house in Galveston for the night? Because it's supposed to be terrible. I don't want I got hail damage on my Fusion. I don't want hail damage on my new Explorer. And I don't want a tornado come through here and kill my cat. So I took Satan and just packed up a couple things and spent the night under Jason's house. And then got home Wednesday, no damage, no nothing. Nothing happened here, thank God. And then when was it? Friday morning, Friday afternoon, I drove out to Vern Six's house and spent the evening with him and his wife. And then Saturday we went down to Belton, which starts at 7 a.m.
Yes.
Who thought that it was a good idea to start a ham fest at 7 a.m?
Mm-hmm.
It's all the
Early
old
bird special.
Yeah, the old guys have.
I don't get it. I know. I don't get it. But yeah, got there. We spent a few hours there. Had a great time. Got to run into a bunch of people. Filmed some videos. So I'll have that video out Wednesday. And yeah, just had a lot of fun. Spent more money than I wanted to. Bought a new toy.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Something I needed. Yeah,
What
to
did
some
you
on
need?
Jason Street. I got I needed a new VHF radio for my car. So I bought, and I'm not really in love with it, but it does APRS, and that's one of the main reasons I bought it. So I control people. I got the Yaesu FTM 300. And it's just as dumb as every other Yaesu radio. I'm sitting there reading the manuals and trying to program the damn thing yesterday. Like, why did I buy a Yaesu?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you get that 400 you saw? That guy had to use.
Because the one, it's a newer radio, and B, it's got a warranty. So
Yeah.
But yeah, the guy had the 400 for like $350, which I thought was a pretty good price. I don't know what they really go for, but that seems like a pretty decent price for a 400.
I can testify to the ruggedness of the 400 because mine survived my truck flipping over and getting spun around.
Yeah.
And I'm still using it. It works great. So if it can handle impact like that, that kind of passes my tests.
Yeah, I'd say that that would work. I mean,
Plus,
300 seems pretty rare. I really like the mounting bracket that Yaesu has.
Yeah.
You just push a button and it slides out. Like, they have one good designer at Yaesu, apparently. They knocked that out of the park. So, but I like it. It's, people complain the screen's big, but in all honesty, like, it's just one VFO over the other. Whereas if you were to just kind of split them and make them horizontally, I don't think it's much smaller than the radio that I have in my car now, which is the TYT 9800 when you think about it. So, but yeah, I'm curious. I mean, it's a nice looking radio.
I think the 400 has a larger screen though, and it's touch screen.
Oh God, yeah, the 400's the freaking smartphone compared to the.
Yeah.
As a new Yaesu owner of the FT 891, I was going through the menus, and I got to the power section, and I wanted to see how low I can go. If I want to run to low power, they stopped me at 10 watts. But then there's another setting that says HF, or it'll say power, and then there's sideband. So I'm presuming, and not that I do the digital stuff for CW, but I'm like, I guess my point is we can always pick apart all these radios. They're never going to be 100% for us. We're always going to question R&D maybe, or whoever the decision makers and the designers were. Why did you do this versus why didn't you do that? And I haven't. But the radios, I think they all come close to meeting our needs. What, a good 90%, if not more, of. But it's just every once in a while you just come to that. Why? Why did they do? why did they do this? It just
was filming myself yesterday, learning how to use this radio, and I just edited out everything except for why. I'd have an hour-long video. It just so like case in point. So there's two mini USBs, one on the head and one on the body of the radio when you take the head off.
mm-hmm.
And it also comes with a USB cable. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. I downloaded the software, and the programming software that Yaesu made is actually not terrible. It's actually pretty good, surprisingly. So I plugged in the cable to the radio, downloaded the drivers, etc. Wouldn't work. I'm like, all right, what the hell is the deal here? So I go online. I'm reading the manual. It's like, you need this whatever cable. So I go online and look. You get one from RT Systems for like $60. It plugs into the 10-pin DIN connector on the back. That's actually the data cable. So I'm like, you got to be shitting me. Fortunately, there's an SD card in there, or an SD card, it's a micro SD card slot that I was able to program and just program it that way using the SD card.
Right, and then pop it in right.
Yeah, but it's like, why do you gotta make it difficult? Just put a programming cable in there. It's USB. Why would you use a mini USB? It's a brand new radio, at least a micro, but Jesus, USB-C for the win. It should be able to do everything, and they're not perfect. I mean, all the vendors do that, but except for maybe you buy a Bofang with a programming cable or something. But
I mean, you spend that kind of money on a radio. Why wouldn't it? Why can't they throw in a $1 programming cable for it?
Agree.
I've been saying that for years. Because Scott, I've been saying that for years. Come on, work with us.
Yeah, stop.
And this isn't just a Yaesu thing. I mean, ICOM doesn't put programming cables in, but
they all do
like
it,
with my 705, I can just plug in the USB and use the 705's programming software, and it does everything over USB.
Right.
So it's just, but I'm sure I'll like the radio. And in all honesty, I wanted a better. I've never had a Japanese VHF UHF mobile radio. I've always used the Chinese ones. So I'm going to throw the TYT in the shack, and because I'm using some like small Redivus 20-watt radio in the shack. So I'm going to put the TYT in the shack and then put the Yaesu in the car, and it'll look sexy next to the 891. So, but I'm learning. I mean, any new radio, you gotta read the manual, and you gotta get used to. There's a learning curve.
Who
when you get
does
the muscle
that?
memory and stuff,
Reading
so.
manuals.
I'll tell you one thing. I will not go backwards to programming the radio at the display. I'm done. I am done doing that. I will complain about buying the cable, but I will. RT Systems will have the software, I'm sure, but I will not. I do probably anywhere from between VHF, UHF, some D-Star in there. I'm probably anywhere up to 100 to 300 channels in there, simplex, this and that. Maybe some receive on some public safety, whatever. But I am not going to be doing this and then hitting V/M and push and this and that and find the channel. I'm done. I'm done. Those days.
I'm with you.
Those days are done.
When I program my radios, I take my little SD card out, I plug it in my USB drive in my computer, go to repeater book, download the repeaters I want, program it, done. I don't want to sit there. Done. I tried programming. When I went down to Galveston to meet them for Winter Field Day, they're on some local repeater down there. I'm trying to get the repeater, and I couldn't. I had the tone, everything done, but something wouldn't. I didn't know how to do something. I couldn't bring up the manual, so I'm sitting there trying to reach a contact. I'm talking into the wind. And we finally figured out what the thing I had to do to it to make it do its thing. But that's a pain in the ass.
To counter that a little bit, you need to know how to program it on the front display. So you're out at a given event and they're like, we're getting jammed, or this repeater is just going down. We're going to use the backup, and this frequency is da-da-da-da-da offset minus, and here's the tone.
Well, you're right. I mean, I shouldn't have had a program, but I've also, in my defense, I've got, 11 radios?
Mm-hmm.
The chance I'm going to remember how to do that. I can't tell you what I had for dinner last night.
No, he's right. I get that. As well as maybe because my situation's different here in Connecticut. when I've programmed all my stuff, I do like my main travel area first, and then I kind of go. My method of madness used to be everything else would be alphabetical by the alpha tag that I choose by the town which that repeater is located, or maybe add something. If it's Skywarn, I'll do WX for weather, or whatever. Or I would do it like a clock. So as I'm traveling, I would change based on my location, based on the. It's just a weird little method of madness. You guys in the bigger states, I can see that could be a hell of a lot more challenging.
It can.
If I'm
You got to
telling,
remember though. Go ahead. I was just going to say.
I was just going to say, Scott.
Go ahead.
If
Tag,
I'm
you're
putting
it.
in 150, if I'm putting in 150 to 200, you guys can easily do 1,000, probably 750, based upon your state and the amount of and the potential frequencies that you.
I've got like I've got I think
backup.
I think I've got 20 repeaters programmed in, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. I keep my programming local to where I am.
That's it.
Yeah.
I like the suggestion from the
that's
chat
all I
here.
do.
Quick reference cards in your pack for your radio, so that you know how to
I just
program your
save
radio
all
on the fly.
Yeah,
Good
not
idea.
a bad idea. I save all the manuals on my phone, so I can just open up PDF
Yeah.
if I need it.
That
I'm not
works
gonna do that
too.
while I'm driving. And I haven't tried programming the 300 from the panel yet. So I don't think it'll be too difficult. I mean, it's got the automatic repeater shift, so if you type in a frequency, it should automatically do the offset. So all I should have to do is put in the tone. But there's no chirp support, which I was kind of disappointed to not see. It's not in chirp, because that would have been really easy. I could have just copied from like my other radio and just put it in and been done. But so I had to do it. The software for the 300 is kind of similar to chirp, though. It's better than ICOM's programming software. I'll tell you that much. Some software I've used are just god awful. The ICOM software for like the 705, the ID50, all that, they kind of suck. This one was pretty good, so I don't know. I'm gonna use the radio a bit. I got to get some new Lido mounts to put it in the car, and I'm sure I'll do some kind of review on it or something. So. And shout out to Maine Trading Company, because that's who I bought the FTM 300 through.
Nice. Quick shout out to Paul joining the officer level. I really do appreciate that. And we got a super chat here. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Good evening, everyone. I settled down with a good bottle of Jack. Very nice 8-ball and has a great nose and hanging out. He's on a frequency.
An 8-ball of nose margaritas.
Yeah. 7,200. Ooh, I like that frequency. Don, thank you for joining. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that, and it keeps the lights on. Especially this time. I'm using lamps that we can't see. We'll get to them later. Oh, man.
Yeah, Izzo, you were talking about frequencies earlier, and you have to understand the state of Connecticut's the same size as the county I live in.
Correct. That was my point. So if I have one, like I said, you guys are going to be putting potentially hell of a lot more. One of the things that ICOM does, and I'm not sure about the Yaesu, because I don't have any Yaesu VHF equipment, is I like how they have the banks. So for a guy like me who comes from public safety, we call them zones. But if I put all my stuff into banks, so like if I go out to Rhode Island, my Rhode Island bank is already populated. It's done. I do it through the software. The only thing I got to remember is how to get into the banks, and I do that every once in a while, and it really makes it easier from an organization. I guess the bottom line is figure out whatever works for you and do it.
Yep,
We're all, there's no one way that's going to make it all for everybody. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'd think with a county as large as the one we live in down here, that we'd have, crap loads of repeaters. There's really only like 3 or 4 repeaters, and the main one reaches out 60 miles in every single direction from here.
Wow,
it's actually,
nice.
It's 5 miles. I'm looking at the tower from where I am right now. It's 5 miles away, but it reaches all the way down to Galveston, all the way up to Huntsville, all the way out to almost.
Does not reach up to Huntsville.
I was talking.
I lose it just. The EEO.
The 14694 repeater down here.
Is that the KG5 EEO repeater?
I don't know. Maybe.
the club that puts on the
Yeah.
Ham Fest.
Yeah.
Dude, I lose it just south of the Woodlands.
Does that
Yeah, I ain't hitting that in.
Are you running a 50-watt or 50-watt radio?
I'm just talking on receive. I don't actually talk to people on the radio.
I was sitting in the park one day waiting for you to come up because we were meeting for something, and I was sitting there listening to the guys chatting back and forth on that repeater sitting in my parking spot. So I was picking them up. I mean, I might have gotten a weird day where propagation was in my favor, but it did reach out.
Matt from the chat says the biggest gripe on the FTN 300 that it doesn't have banks. Does it have groups like DMR groups or a concept like that?
I don't think it's got DMR. I mean, might have system fusion or something.
Well, I was just asking, does it have a concept like that? Yeah, since it's Yazoo, probably doesn't have DMR.
Oh, so here's another thing.
Yeah,
so you know when you put your memories in a radio and you're just scrolling through the memories and you get to the last one. So say like my last memory is 20. And then you hit the up arrow and it'll go back to 1, right? It just circles around. Yeah, the 300 doesn't do that. So when I get to like memory 20 and then I want to go back to 1 or 5, you got to hit down all a bunch of times. Like
sucks.
Well,
maybe
wait,
there's a setting to change
that. It won't
that.
let you go. Like it won't let you go.
It won't roll over.
It doesn't roll over back to 1.
Like 99 or VFOB or 00.
Well, no, because I have 20 memories. Let's just say it's either 19 or 20 or 20. I don't know what it is. Let's just say there's 20 memories in there right now. So you hit the up button on the microphone, right, to cycle through them, or the down. Once you get to the last memory programmed in, you hit the up button again. Doesn't do anything. You would think it would roll over to 1 again, like my Chinese TYT does, or a Bofang, or literally any other radio that I've ever owned. This one doesn't do that. You got to cycle all the way back down.
It wasn't in the R&D budget.
Apparently not. I don't know.
That was funny. That was funny.
My initial thoughts of the FTM 300 are I'm kind of I'm not sure how much I like it, but whatever. I bought it, so that's what I'm going to use.
Does the head separate? Does it do a head separation?
You want to talk another stupid thing they did?
Yeah.
I don't mean this to be like a Yaesu bashing party, but it's just so easy to pick on them.
I almost invited
there
John.
There is a bracket inside. There is a bracket inside, and it's like this. It's got like a little sticker on it, so you can like mount it to your dashboard or something. So it's not like a bracket that you could actually mount to anything other than a dash. It's not useful for me at all. So it does have a 1/4-20 screw on the back, so I need to get another thing for my Lido mount. I just emailed Jim yesterday, the guy at Lido, told him what I want to do, and he suggested the same thing that I have holding my 891 should fit where I want it to fit. So should be a pretty easy install. So it is nice that they have that bracket, but it's just not like, it's not the one I want. So they didn't do it the way I wanted to do it. So I can't really bash them for that.
It's Mike's world. We just live in it.
To answer your question, is the head does separate from the main unit.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Hang on here. I'm going to get off this soapbox.
The
last thing that the Yaesu does, the last thing that is stupid that Yaesu did. So the microphone doesn't connect to the head of the radio; it connects to the body of the radio. So they included a cable for the control to connect the head to the radio, but they did not include a cable to route from the microphone that's going to be in the front of the car to the radio in the back of the car.
That's extra. That's extra.
Yeah, you don't get the complete package. Like you get like 90% to maybe 85% of what you actually need to get it on the air. Fortunately, the cable that connects from my radio to the head that's in my car is just an RJ45 style cable, whatever. So I'm just going to use that cable that's already installed for the microphone, and I've got one of those little RJ45 adapters so I can connect the microphone to the cable and it's done. But it's like, Yaesu, do you look at the products that you put out before you put them out? Maybe have a third party look at them.
Well, the way I've got my 400 set up, I've got the main unit screwed into the bracket that they give you. I got that screwed into the side of the center console on the passenger side of my car. So there's only about a 2-foot space for it to go up from there and to where the head unit is mounted on my Lido mount, and it works fine. But I did that to maximize airflow because it's got a little. I don't know if yours has. Mine has a little fan on the back, and with dogs and dust and everything else in Texas, I don't want anything getting in there and crapping it up. So I have it right there. If I got to cool it down, I can always switch my AC unit down to the lower vents to cool it off. But I don't really ever have that problem with any overheating or anything.
Yeah, I'm not going to, nor do I have room to screw the body to the center console. So it's going under the back seat where the VHF radio is now, and it may or may not get screwed down.
So
no, it's the little details that they're great radios. They're fantastic radios. Why I use them? I just question why I use them because of the decisions they make. But they've certainly got enough of my money.
On another topic, I was wondering, Izzo, did you get any part of the eclipse up where you're at?
We had about 90% for us where I was located at work in the center part of Connecticut. Clouds were coming and going, but we were able to at least see it. I was at work playing the game we took turns at work, going outside with the glasses, looking at it, hanging out a little back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Our 911 center got pretty, and I don't want to use the Q word. Radio traffic and telephones just all stopped for maybe about an hour, 45 minutes.
Oh wow!
I think everybody was just being good and looking up in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
But it was cool. I was going to take the day off and go play radio. I just couldn't do it. Just too many with our scheduling. It was too late. It's something that I should have planned for like back in December. But hanging out with everybody, like watching Jason's show. I was watching PSK Reporter. I was watching Noah and a few other live stuff. It was still cool for what I was able to do. I saw your guys' videos, and it looked like you guys had a fun time there meeting up with Burn 6 and everybody.
We had a blast, just a social event, man. I was literally thinking about it hard Friday night. I was like, do I really want to go down? The eclipse is not going to be good anywhere in Texas. And just, we had Matt for Ham Radio Ventures came out, and all Ron's family and a couple of them came out from different states, and Vern and Mike was going. And I was like, you know what? If this thing's a bust, we're just going to go out there, drink bourbon. I think we finished 2 bottles of bourbon, at least, and smoke cigars. I smoked about 5 cigars that weekend. It was a blast. And yeah, the eclipse wasn't what I really wanted, but hey, man, we had fun as friends. We went out camping, and on that note, it was a win across the board.
Excellent.
And the fire.
And the fire, Jesus.
I saw that bonfire in the Mount of Wood. That was cool, man.
100 degrees outside, you're lighting a bonfire.
Yeah.
That was small potatoes for a bonfire, but it was a raging campfire. That's what it was. It was awesome. Yeah, Mike had the biggest smile on his face, and Renee just kept throwing logs on there. Can I get that over here? Can we throw one on top over here? Then Mike picked up the big old daddy log that was, I can't even put my hands on screen how big that was.
Dude, that log weighed at least 50 pounds. It was huge.
It was.
It wasn't.
Awesome.
It wasn't like. I mean, it was probably only maybe 3 feet long. It was pretty wide, but it was dense. Mm-hmm. It was so big and heavy. That's what she said.
There was
like a 7610.
There was parts of that log that was still there the next morning. Parts, like little chunks, but it didn't burn all the way. And
it was so hot, I threw a Coke bottle in there. Like a legit Coke bottle. You know how thick those are. And it freaking melted in like under 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's a lot of heat.
Yeah.
See, Mike's not familiar with those A&M bonfires you used to have. These guys try to scorch the sky. They make a bonfire so big, it sets satellites on fire.
Yeah, they do.
Where's that, at A&M? That's only 45 minutes that way.
Yeah, look up for homecoming.
I need to go. love fire.
So how was it down on your end, Scott? You didn't make it out.
No, I was actually on Jason's live stream for that. I was streaming in the background of my on OBS. I was streaming the NASA's coverage of it, which they're basically talking to a stuffed dog half the time and showing the eclipse in Mexico as it was going up the path.
Mm-hmm.
And we just sat there with Jason. He had a camera outside looking up at the sky. We had A0Z on with us from Missouri,
Mm-hmm.
giving us his take. We sat there and watched the whole sky turn dark. Of course, he had his camera on automatic, so it's trying to compensate for the loss of light so it looked like daylight. He's like, it's pitch dark out here. It's like, it looks like it's just as sunny as it is here right now.
Yeah, my phone, when I was
Yeah,
just
it got
doing
frickin' dark.
B-roll during the darkness of the eclipse, it wasn't doing it justice. It was just opening up the ISO so much that you couldn't tell that how dark it was. That
Yeah.
fire was just like burning like it was at midnight, man. It was dark. It was pretty cool hearing the kind of the birds start chirping again, then the crickets started, and then that went away when the sun was gone. Puppy! I get more views now. It was beautiful. It was a shame that it was such overcast. Other than that, I wouldn't redo a thing. I would go back down there in a heartbeat. I didn't
We
regret
got
it.
another one coming September 14th. Not a full like we had this time, but we have another eclipse event coming September 14th, right?
I don't know. I will look into that.
I thought I saw Vern post something like, if you miss the eclipse today, you'll catch it again on the 14th.
Interesting. I'll research that and I'll post about it.
Well, we did notice though during the eclipse, as it was coming into full eclipse and so on and so forth, and during the whole thing and towards the end, we sat there and watched the bands. We were on F8, and we sat there and watched the bands just drop one after another,
Wow.
and they slowly started coming back.
That's cool.
That was kind of cool.
I had my radio tuned for the ham science, and I was recording the audio file for them, and I've uploaded that, and they're going to do some science. But I was just receiving the whole time. I sat on their frequency. I hit record on my computer, just a standard sound file. I hooked it up like I was running FT8, and then I just piped that into a sound recorder, and boom, I was getting audio because it loads it as another audio jack. That was super easy.
Last night
We
I
had
was
some
hanging
fun
out
with
with my brothers.
toroids too.
Jeez, I haven't gotten an answer on that. We had a toroid that was singing. It was making noise. It was squeaking. We don't know. We called the smoking ape.
I wanted to ask you something. Did you buy those on Amazon?
No, I got those from REO, not REO, but Ham Radio Outlet. Yeah, Ham Radio Outlet. And they're hunking large toroids because I was just whatever noise was coming over the USB port on my standard USB wire, I was going to just smite that. So I bought big old chunk ones.
When I saw you guys recording that, the first thing I thought was you bought those on Amazon, and that might be why it was causing the problem. You got
No.
HRO. I got no idea.
Well, we put a separate one on, another one, because I had a pack of like 4, and it did not make the noise.
Okay, so you just had a faulty one then, maybe.
I guess, but I just never heard a toroid or a ferrite. There was a ferrite make noise like that, and I had it wrapped twice. That was it. So it was odd. But
Yeah, I think
was
the
thinking-
event was cool. You know, we didn't get to see much of it down here, but still a fun event.
it was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
I was hanging out with the boys from last night from Northeast Ham Radio, and they were up in Vermont, New Hampshire. And Scott, just like what you were saying, they were on 20 and 40, and all of a sudden 20 meters just like stopped. And I asked them, I said, was it the noise floor dropping, or was it literally like, where's my antenna? Did my antenna fall down, cut the coax? He said, yeah. He said, literally, it just, and then all of a sudden, and the big guns, there were some big guys out there with the amplifier, the Yankees, whatever. And then all of a sudden, here it comes again, here it comes again, here it comes again. It was very ominous like that, so.
Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, 'cause my question was wondering how the eclipse would affect the E layer and F layer and all the other different layers between us and the moon that
Right.
affects propagation on a regular day basis. Well, now you have the moon going in front of the sun. How does that affect things? And kind of got our answer.
And that's what Ham Science was also studying that so they can map those effects as time happens, and also as geolocations, because every listen station they had geo identified what grid square they were in. But I'm looking forward to the results. I was talking to the main guy on my last stream about that, and he said it's probably going to take them a good year or so to chunk all that data and do the analysis and generate the report. I bet it's writing the report's going to take the longest. But that was a good live stream. If you missed that, go ahead and check that out. That was a lot of good information. I just had to dump my ashtray out because the wind was kicking it up on my computer so much.
Suggestion for you:
Yeah.
get yourself one of these.
Oh, that's beautiful. I have
A spittoon.
It's not as well. Yes, you can if you have to.
my brother actually
Anything
made
can be
this.
used. There you go. Look at that, Scott. That's nice.
Oh,
this
Scott.
is my father-in-law's. He bought in Germany back during Vietnam. It's a
Look
really
at
nice
that.
crystal ashtray we've had forever. That's my cigar
Is it
ashtray.
heavy? Is it
Yeah,
heavy?
it's very, it weighs as much as a Buick.
It looks beautiful though. See, ashtrays to me talk. That's legacy there. That's history,
Mhm.
memories. I like stuff like that. Yeah.
So this one is handmade by my brother
What's
in
that?
elementary.
Mike, what's that? Plastic?
No, it's ceramic. I got it off Amazon. I got two for
Yeah,
I
it
don't know,
works.
two for
Don't get me
$10 or
wrong.
something.
Something
don't
about an
care.
ashtray. Something I do as a cigar smoker. I care about my ashtray. I don't know why. Don't
Mhm.
call me a snob.
I got one of these.
I do
I
need
had
one
a
of
really-
those.
Oh, look at that.
I had a really nice one. We went out partying one night with Nish Patel from Rocky Patel,
Ooh.
and we took us out to a Scotch bar and gave us all kinds of cigars. But soon, we're just getting smashed and smoking cigars. And he gave me a really nice Rocky Patel ashtray. Well, my friends out here, unfortunately, are idiots, and one of them managed to trip and fall and broke the damn thing all over the back porch.
Oh.
Well, it's gone.
Oh man.
No amount of super glue was going to fix it. But I still have my Rocky Patel humidor that he gave me, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I got.
You're going to party. Bring your A game because these guys can party hard.
Yeah. I
Here it
got.
is.
I like to party.
Mike gave me a nice humidor. It plugs into the wall and it keeps the cigars at a perfect temperature. And then I've got it seasoned finally, and it's finally hit around 70% humidity. And now I got some cigars in there. I'm going to buy several boxes, and we're going to load it up nice. And I'm going to keep cigars again. For the longest time, this was my humidor, my only single humidor. And but now I got one going. The humidor I had, the old humidor was a cedar wood humidor, but the seals cracked on it, and I can never keep it nicely
Right.
humidified. So I
Yep.
stopped keeping cigars at home. But now this one's up and running. I'm going to be stocking up on all the good stuff. All the good stuff.
It's a good place to go. Go to, I think it's cigars.com or cigar.com.
Mm-hmm.
They got some really good deals. And once you order from them, they'll send you like 30 and 40% off coupons on larger packs of the same brand that you bought.
Nice.
So I got some really good deals from them. They carry everything all the other cigar shops carry.
Yeah, I go
Except-
to cigarpaid.com. It's called. I think they're out of Pennsylvania or somewhere out in that area, and they're just insanely cheap. It's ridiculous how cheap the cigars are.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm
Free
still
shipping,
trying to find.
so you can't go wrong
I'm
with
still
that.
trying to find those Fuente Opus X that aren't $80 a stick.
Good luck with that.
good luck. Now, when I got back from the camping trip real fast, I went back to my cigar shop, and I told them I was going camping. And as soon as I walked through the door, how did Sapphire, manage the off-roads camping? I'm like, y'all, come on now. Mike told them about Sapphire, and they have me give it to me every time I go camping or take
Don't
her
blame
off-road.
me.
Oh, I do blame you.
Hey,
The one
man.
that named your car Sapphire.
I blame you.
Bring it over here one weekend. We'll put a 3-inch lift kit on it. Put some mud and tires on that thing.
Yes.
Oh God, wouldn't that
Yes.
be fun?
A wing in the back on the.
Yeah. The way you have a
Racing
proper
stripes.
hoop wheel.
I want to listen. I'm not a gearhead, but help me out. In the hood, if you cut open, if you put the header, is it the headers or the carburetor? So it opens up for the air. What do you call that?
Yeah, hood scoop.
The intake
That's,
manifold.
that's what you gotta do. Sapphire.
Yeah, that would be
And
beautiful.
and I want
That would be
800
funny.
watts.
Get some ram
I
air in
want
there.
I want 800 watts of stereo for him. So he's driving down the
That's not that
street.
much.
He gets his lumbar support.
I love it. I love it. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, I
But
found.
Shoot, when I was younger, I think I had a 1,000-watt amp just for my subs in my car.
Well, now you don't need
800
them.
watts,
A 500 watt amp now usually suffices, especially for the type of music that we listen to.
No, did you put subs on metal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I do dual 10s on my cars. Want that nice, tight, fast bass that beats the crap out of my neck while I'm driving.
talking about cars, Mike got a new Ford Explorer.
It did. Well, it's a 2019, but yeah,
Well, new to you.
it's a lot newer and a lot nicer than my 2011 Fusion. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with it.
Good luck with it.
I've had it for 3 weeks now, and I've already put over 1,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Just look with the vehicle, man. Glad you finally got an SUV. It's a little more useful for you, especially down here. Owning a car in Texas is kind of dumb.
I don't care. I just like the SUV so I can throw more crap in it, and being able to car camp over the weekend was really cool. I just put a blow up mattress in the back, folded all the seats down, and it was fantastic. So I'm pretty happy. I do like being a little higher up. I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee when I was in my 20s. I really liked that. I like cars too. I like everything. I don't really care, but I just needed a new car because my old one's rusting out. So I
Is
got
it
it.
two-wheel
And it's
drive or
pain in the
four-wheel
ass to put ham radio in. It's just front wheel drive. I don't need 4-wheel drive. Never in my life have I been like, man, even in Michigan in the snow, have I been like, man, I really wish I had 4-wheel drive. So maybe I just know how to drive. No, I don't care about that. I don't care about 4-wheel drive.
Well, I was asking, 'cause I mean, they make a whole. They probably make this. I know they do it for the 4Runner, but they might have a bunch of overlanding add-ons for that thing you can put in there, like little fridge, inverters. You know, if you're gonna be out there, if you're going places where you want to just camp in
I
your.
got all that stuff.
Okay.
So we powered. Funny you mentioned that because we powered. So everything I was using was 12 volt, but Frank was using one of Vern's 12 volt coolers, but it wasn't really a 12 volt cooler. Well, maybe it is, but he had the wrong.
Wrong adapter. He had the cigarette lighter adapter
wrong
for
adapter.
it, and not power poles.
So he had the 120 volt brick. So I have this little 300 watt inverter that I bought off of Amazon on the suggestion from Ryan Sideboom. It was $50. It's RF quiet. It's pure sine wave. Maybe I'll do a review on it. I don't know. It's probably not going to be a very long review, but it's a good RF quiet 300 watt inverter for $50 on Amazon. So that's what I used that. I used that to power the pump for the air mattress, and that was powering Frank's 12 volt cooler or 120 volt cooler all weekend, and no RF. I mean the inverter is sitting like right here, and the radios are sitting right here. No RFI. Nice. He had his FPDX10. I had my 7300 out. Nothing.
Good.
So,
That's very cool.
I got all that stuff, but no, I'm not into overlanding and all that. I don't
Well, no, I'm not saying go out balls to the walls with it, but if you wanted to have a couple little creature comforts, if you're going out someplace, you don't want to get a hotel room and stuff, you want to kind of camp out in your own vehicle, you know, have the gear there and maybe get some little containers put up top on the cargo rack or something.
Well,
you know, they make all kinds of cool things for traveling things.
Well, yeah, but he also had a blow-up air mattress in back.
Yeah.
That he slept in all night, and it looked comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, Satan popped that, by the way, in Galveston.
Oh.
I don't have that anymore. I knew it was going to happen too. I'm like, Satan does not like being in a car.
Yeah.
And I knew like once we got settled and he came out of his hiding spot, he started walking around the mattress and looking out the windows, and he like kind of fell, and like I think one of his back claws just put like 2 little holes in it. So it took about 2 hours for it to get empty enough for it to not be comfortable. So I just deflated. Yeah, that's the word.
Little
So I
gorilla
just
tape ought to
slept
fix
on the
that.
hard.
Yeah, duct tape.
I didn't have gorilla tape with me.
That's supposed to be in your
Didn't have
camping
anything with me.
That
stuff.
should be in your man pack.
Yeah, your car pack.
Right, that's right.
I opted for a 12-volt cooler full of beer, and I drank one beer.
Oh man.
No, I didn't. It wasn't a big deal. I just slept on the back of the seats and whatever. I am not that high maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to get another. But it was only $15 for that mattress. So I don't really care.
So Izzo, when we're gonna get you down to Texas?
I'm thinking
You're thinking, ooh.
maybe in the fall,
Mm-hmm.
winter of 2025 into going into 26.
Like winter field day
Somebody-
type thing, or
That's what I was kind of reaching for, but I don't want to jinx myself.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If not, when the taxes get done and I got that extra push money, maybe that's something in the spring and just say, hey guys, where are you all going to be?
Warning you ahead of time. You come down here and try the barbecue and all the cool food. You might not want to go back.
Yeah. Bring the
I
whole
know that-
family.
Let me tell you something. I know that's what's going to happen. I'll tell you that right now. I know that's going to happen. When my sister moved out of Denton and came back up here, listen, I love this girl. She is everything to me as well as my other family. But I was like, Casey, no, you're supposed to stay down there because that gets my ass down there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
And
only thing
if you love traffic jams, Houston is where you want to move.
Oh no! If you ever driven up I-95 from Westport up to New Haven, you know all about traffic jams. It's 4 lanes, not 12, and the same crappy traffic.
You're absolutely right, Scott. But still, man, I am afraid I'm going to get down there and I'm not going to want to come back. I've actually been looking at going to Aruba in maybe 7-8 years and just move, sell everything and just live in Aruba and just be done with it and just be done.
You know what's his name from Our Finder lives?
Yeah, he's
No.
in Mexico, right?
No, he lives in Mexico.
Yeah,
he
he's-
lives in.
Mexico.
Wait, he's living on like
Who the hell is he?
there's like $180 a
Cozumel.
month in bills.
Cozumel. He's in Cozumel.
Is he in Cozumel?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah, he's just on an island, middle of.
Yeah, but it's like
nowhere.
dirt cheap to live there.
Oh yeah, he
Like stupid
tells
cheap,
you
yeah.
every time you talk to him. Man, I built a whole house of furniture for $400, handmade, handcrafted wood, and go scuba diving any chance I get, and hit up the it's not mosque, temple on Sundays, and just living the life down there.
Yep.
Find your peace. I tell everybody, find your peace, find your happiness.
Yeah. I wonder if he got his residence yet, because he had to come back every 300 days or something, because for the passport stuff. He was working on a working visa or something. He was also working around trying to get ham radio operators permissions to the reciprocal license for U.S. to come down there and operate the radio legitimately, because they didn't have a reciprocal license put up. So if that
That
happens-
was over a year ago. I wonder how he's doing with that.
yeah. Well, you know,
Wow.
gears of politics takes time. How long have we been fighting for HOA exemptions?
Well,
Don't live in an HOA.
Yeah, that's your answer.
one way, but the other way is, that these politicians don't exactly have that as a priority. If they're not beating down their damn phones every damn day about it, they don't give a crap. They put it on the back burner. That's why it hasn't done anything, because no one's taking grassroots action to promote it and make sure it gets to a vote.
And I'm not in a HOA, and just look at this beautiful backyard I have. Yeah.
Well, my HOA
No
starts.
antennas.
No antennas yet. Oh, it's not on. You can't see it in the video. I still have the rope that's stuck in the tree. I can't get it down. I tossed it up there, and it looped on itself, and it made a knot. I was like, oh, it's stuck. Stuck forever.
Let's make a rope swing.
Yes.
The first time you swing on it, I promise it'll come down.
The whole limb.
The
whole limb. Tree
Tree trimming at Frank's house.
Yep. Oh man, we're about to hit the top of the hour here, man. We've been having fun.
Wow.
I know my cigar actually smoked pretty fast. It's down to a
I
nub
made
already.
sure I brought out a 1 hour cigar so I'd make it through the stream here.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna carry on out here on Jason's stream coming up next. Let's go just to the way that we did. Let's go ahead and start with Mike, man. Where can we find more about you and what you got coming up?
Probably the FBI's database will have a good load of info on me. YouTube, Google. You can just go to Ham Radio Tube and hit subscribe. That's all that matters. That's all I care about. I don't care about the other socials.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for joining.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. It's great to smoke a cigar with you guys.
Yeah.
Virtually.
I have to do like 3
What was it
in
when COVID first started? Everyone was like together apart or some crap like that.
Yeah. We're like same old, gentlemen. We've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
Together.
Mm-hmm.
Izzo, my cigar brother up north, man. Where can we find more about you or anything else you want to shout out?
Hanging out on Tuesday nights at the clubhouse. I hit a Poda Park last Friday in the rain. I said, I don't care. We're getting a lot of rain here. It keeps falling on my day off. And I'm just going to be hitting more. Going to get back in the groove now with the Poda. Between the ICOM 7300 and this FT 891 that I'm really enjoying. I want to thank Jason from Gigaparts. I picked up the Explorer bag, some of the inserts, made it a little bit more comfortable for grab and go. I did the power pole conversion. Mike, thank you for your video. You and a couple other guys broke it down so simple. There's no really excuse. Get rid of that freaking Molex. Get rid of that Molex and put it in and just be done with it. So I know earlier, hey, real quickly, guys, we were talking about menus, features, this and that. I think it's the number one thing. If these manufacturers would just get rid of that Molex and go with power pole in the back and just be done with it, I think that would make us a lot happier in so many ways. So, but that's about it. And if you don't find me on Clubhouse, I'll be at my cigar lounge, or I'll be next in the FBI database. Luckily, I come after Mike. So you'll see Mike's sins, and then you're gonna see my sins, and you're gonna be like, Mike's a lot worse. So we're skip over his though.
I love it.
I just took a drink when he said that. I don't think I was on camera, but I almost spit it out.
Love it. Thank you, Don. I love you when you come on, man. It's been awesome.
For the invitation.
Scott, my co-host brother, man, where can we find more about you and what's coming up on your channel?
Well, let me first say, I forgot to mention this earlier. I just passed 20,000 subscribers. So for all you who subscribe to my channel, thank you. That's awesome. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. You can find me at hamradiofornontechies.com. And unlike Mike, I do like social media. So I'm on Rumble, Odyssey, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm freaking everywhere. Just type in HR4NT on Google. I take up the entire front page and next page and probably the page after that. And I've got some cool antenna stuff coming up. Got an antenna build coming up. I was supposed to do about 6 months ago, but yeah, I'm a little late to the show. But we're gonna get it done.
Awesome.
But glad to be here tonight, man.
Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you all of y'all for watching. This has been fun, and we're going to do more of these. I don't know how often, but we're going to try to do more of these. Thank y'all for watching. I really do appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. Thank you to all my Patreons who support the channel and YouTube members. And thank you to everyone who gave me super chats. I really do appreciate it. And as always, y'all, go forth and conquer. Say bye.
Bye, everybody.
Number 3.
A quick shout out to all my Patreons who make the show possible. You can support me by joining Patreon in the link below. And on to Tank Radio.